Hello and welcome to the D3.js course. This is the most comprehensive course on D3 around. By the end of this course, you will have a solid understanding of D3 and its features. D3 is a JavaScript library that comes with dozens of features for creating data visualizations. Here is what you can expect to learn throughout this course. Currently, you're in Section 1. This section will go over some of the concepts you'll need to know throughout this course. I go over what data visualization is, why you should use D3, and we set up a server to get started. I want to make one thing clear. This course is not about design or data science. The core focus of this course is D3 and the code behind D3. Data science and design principles are topics that deserve a course of their own. In this course, we mainly focus on the code and why you write things a certain way. This section will only give you a brief overview of things related to design and data science. With that being said, you are expected to know the basics of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. In Section 2, I provide a primer on two topics. I go over some JavaScript concepts that you should already know. You can consider this a refresher. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. The other topic is SVG. D3 is primarily used with SVG. It's important to understand what SVG is and how to use it. If you don't have any experience with SVG, then that's perfectly fine. You will learn all the basics in this section. Then, in Section 3, we'll go over the basics of D3. We won't be creating any visuals or doing anything difficult. This section focuses solely on the code itself and what's happening behind the scenes. Afterwards, in Section 4, we begin actually using D3 to draw charts. For this section, we focus on two examples to better explain and reinforce what you learn. You will learn how to create scatterplots and bar graphs. More importantly, you will learn about scales and how they can help us size our charts appropriately. In Section 5, we'll continue working with the scatterplot and bar graph. We'll refine how it looks and begin adding interactivity. This includes learning how to add, change, and remove data. We'll learn about transitions and animations. You'll also learn how to create your own custom tooltips. In Section 6, we begin stepping away from the charts we've created so far and start exploring other types of charts. You'll learn how to use layouts and how they can help us build some of the most common types of charts out there. In Section 7, we'll start talking about how you would go about creating maps. We won't just draw maps. We'll also learn how to add interactivity, such as panning and zooming. By the end of this section, you'll be more than comfortable drawing maps and understanding the fundamental concepts of GeoJSON. Lastly, in Section 8, I go over some topics I may have missed, such as responsive design. In this day and age, it's important that your charts are responsive for any device. There's a lot of information to go over, and so you will definitely be kept busy. Let's talk about the requirements now. This course assumes you have knowledge of HTML and CSS. We won't use HTML and CSS too often. D3 is primarily JavaScript, and you can manipulate the document with it. Be sure you're confident in your HTML and CSS skills. Along with HTML and CSS, you will also need to know JavaScript. I'll be sure to explain some of the more advanced concepts, but you should have a good understanding of the basics. This includes variables, functions, conditional statements, arrays, and objects. Lastly, you'll need a server and an editor of your choice. If you don't have either of those, then don't worry. In the next lecture, I'll show you how to set up a server for development and suggest an editor. You can use any editor you like as long as it supports HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. At the end of each section is a quiz. Be sure to take it to test your knowledge. When you're ready, move on to the next lecture. I'll see you there.